Splatoon 2 is almost here, and I'm extremely excited for it. However, what is the origin of the game's world? Might there be a connection between the world of Mario and the one of Splatoon? Well, let's find out. The Mushroom Kingdom is one of the largest kingdoms and is under the rule of Princess Peach. It is known to change its landscape, not keeping the same formation from one game to another. Despite this, it comprises of many similar reoccurring landscapes. Think of things like deserts, mountains, snowy areas, volcanoes, and way more. All the cities and villages are filled with cheerful toads, Koopas, Goombas, and more. And then we have Inkopolis. Its plaza is in the shape of a square with a huge sidewalk and different shops to the side. At the far back is Inkopolis Tower, which players can enter to access regular battle and ranked battle. And the place is filled with all kinds of happy fish people, like sea slugs, prawns, inklings, and more. But could it be that these two worlds are connected? Well, after looking into it, I found quite a lot of interesting stuff. Let's start by looking at the history of the Inklings, also known as the Sunken Scrolls, since this explains a whole lot. These creatures are an evolved species of squid that came to be after rising sea levels sunk human civilization. Around 2,000 years before the events of Splatoon, the Inklings crawled up to what little habitable land there was left on the planet. The lack of space forced the Inklings to fight for whatever territory they could find, and the turf war as a concept was established. The original turf wars were overseen by Judd, who was cryogenically frozen by his human owner before the Earth was flooded. 100 years before the events of Splatoon, the Inklings and the Octarians engaged in a great turf war. A young Captain Cuttlefish and the Inklings won, forcing the Octarians to retreat into Octo Valley. So this is all the lore we have, and it already explains a whole lot. Now let's start at the very beginning. Who is this human civilization that they're talking about? There are no humans in the world of Mario, besides the hero himself and a couple of others. While the new Super Mario Odyssey actually shows off a brand new place called the Metro Kingdom, and it's filled with humans. They have all kinds of technology like cars, and in Splatoon you can find a picture of a fossilized human with a Wii U. And if we look at the Metro Kingdom and everything in this picture, then we can say without a doubt that it would be fitting. They have all the right technology and they're humans. Now the Metro Kingdom is probably not the one that drowned, since it's set in the sky, but I'm sure that there are more lands similar to it set on the ground. If you look beyond the edge of the city, you can even see another one down there. So that's not a problem anymore. There are human civilizations in the Mario universe, however, the cat that they mention in the story isn't seen. There are no real cats in any of the Mario-related games, so I don't really know where they got that from. Now all the beings on land drowned because of the rising sea level, so they essentially all died. But is this even possible? Could this have happened to the Mushroom Kingdoms and the others around it? Well, yes. Like I mentioned before, the Mushroom Kingdom is known to change its landscape, not keeping the same formation from one game to another. So parts of the land are never the same. But could it be that all of it flooded at some point and everyone drowned? Well, we can see in the games that the desert turns into an ocean from one game to another. So floods that kill millions of people is certainly possible. And this also goes for the lands around it. Now where did the Inklings come from then? Well, this is actually quite an easy answer, since the game took inspiration from the Mario franchise. Bloopers, squid-like creatures that are found in the ocean. They made their first appearance in Super Mario Bros, and various kinds of them have appeared in most Mario games since, normally as enemies. They come in different sizes and colors, though the original variety shown in Super Mario Bros. Is white and roughly the size of a Koopa Troopa. These are most likely the ancestors of the Inklings. Now of course, this isn't because they are the only squid-like beings in the Mario universe. There are a lot of things the two have in common actually. For example, Bloopers possess varying numbers of tentacles, ranging from 4 up to 10 visible limbs. And guess what? The early Inklings that went onto land had 10 limbs. Sunken Scroll 10, which is a part of the Inkling lore, says the ancestors of the Inklings were free to haul their 10-legged bodies up into the abandoned land. And even in the picture, the early version of the Inklings look a lot like the Bloopers. But there's even more. If you look at both of their eyes, you can see that they both have a black area around it. and their tentacles are also very similar. And even if you look at the racing bloopers from Super Mario Sunshine, you can see that the two of them are extremely similar. But can the bloopers even become land beings? Well, yes, we have seen this in games like Super Mario Sunshine, where they walk on land. Also, both of them can shoot and use ink. So clearly, they are the same being, but the inkling became more human over time. But there's also another being seen in the history of Splatoon that is also seen in the Mario world. In Sunken Scroll 1, it says something interesting. It goes as following. Since time immemorial, a rare type of electric catfish known as the zapfish has been prized by Inkling society as a source of energy. In fact, the entire city of Inkopolis is powered by a single 100-year-old great zapfish. So this is a well-known and important creature in the world of Splatoon. But this being is also seen in one of the Mario-related games, although it's clearly a spin-off. The Electric Groovefish is a microgame found in the IQ folder in WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games. Here, you have to bring power from a fish to the city, and this fish is the exact same as the one seen in the first Sunken Scroll. However, take this with a grain of salt. It's clearly a spin-off game. But luckily enough, there are a lot more creatures that we see in the Mario universe that also appear in the Splatoon games. Like the jellyfish that we see in the Mushroom Kingdom as an enemy, and in Splatoon as an inhabitant of Inkopolis. It could even be that this is an alternate Mario universe where the world was flooded and the bloopers took over. We have seen this in games like The Legend of Zelda, where it's split into 3 different outcomes, all with games set in them. And Nintendo has stated before that Splatoon almost featured Mario as its main protagonist, so it could be possible. And maybe Splatoon 2 will explain a whole lot more. Hey everybody, be sure to check out my other social media. It's on the screen right now, in the comments down below, and even in the description. Thanks for watching everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to watch another video if you feel like it. Why not subscribe? Because way more is coming. And I hope that you're going to enjoy Splatoon 2 when it's out. It's going to be a lot of fun.